Hi, Kevin Wright here, and we're looking again at property finance questions. So this is my property finance tip for this week. Now, what are we talking about this week? Properties that say cash buyers only. I'm guessing you've seen them from time to time on Wright. So we're going to be looking at, do you actually need cash, real cash, hard cash, to buy those properties, or can you actually buy them even if you haven't got a big pile of cash sitting in the bank? The answer to that is yes, you can. You don't need a massive pile of cash to buy cash buyer only properties. So if you want to find out the way to actually buy these properties, I'll explain all in the full video. Hi, welcome along to this week's property finance tip. This week we're talking about the properties that you sometimes see on Rightmove, and if you read down into the text, it says cash buyers only. Clearly they're aimed at people that don't need mortgages. But to qualify and to actually buy one of these properties, does that mean, unless you've got a big pile of cash in the bank, six figures plus, then you should be walking away? And the answer is actually no, it doesn't, because there are ways to buy these properties even if you're not flushed with a big stack of cash. But it's a way that very few people really know or understand. And in fact, I know that people have told me when on my training course, when people come and do my Ninja Investor program, we've been on other training courses, and they tell us to specifically avoid looking at any property that says cash buyer only. Now, when someone tells me that they're being told not to look at a property, that tells me there's a potential opportunity there that you can take advantage of. So what are these about? Well, the reason it's cash buyer only is usually because it's got a problem with it, and the problem makes it unmortgageable. It's possible to buy these properties even if you don't have a big pile of cash, and I'm going to tell you how to do that in a minute or so. Some basic questions you must ask on every one of these properties that you find with cash buyer only on it. The first question you must ask is, what's the problem? And you need to get clarity on exactly what that problem is. So what is it that the estate agent as marketing the property, what is it they've seen that actually would prompt them to put cash buyer only in the text of their advert on Rightmove? So you need some specificity on this. Is it that there's, structural problems? Is it the construction material of the property? So what is it? So you really need some clarity on that. That's the first question. Now the second question, can you solve it? Very basic question, because if you can't solve it, then you can't make it mortgageable. And these properties are only a deal if you can turn something that's not mortgageable into something that is mortgageable. Not being mortgageable decreases the value, it's a depreciation. Making it mortgageable is an appreciation that increases the value. The money in these deals are take something that's not mortgageable and make it mortgageable. Can you make the property mortgageable? Can you fix the problem? For example, it could be, on a very simple basis, that the property hasn't got a kitchen. Can you solve that problem? Of course, you fit a kitchen. So that's an example of a solvable problem. Let's look at something a bit different. Let's say that the reason it's not mortgageable is because directly outside the back door there is a mine shaft. Okay, you can't see it because it's underground at the moment. Can you solve that problem? Mine shafts tend to be hundreds of meters deep. So how could you solve that? Well, if you could solve it, it wouldn't be easy, and certainly not as simple as fitting a kitchen. So you may say that realistically, cost effectively, you couldn't solve that problem. Question one, what's the problem? Question two, can you solve the problem? And if the answer is yes, then it's worth looking at a bit further. If the answer is no, well, walk away. Just simple as that. So let's say you can solve the problem. Now the third question, how much does it cost to solve the problem? Which leads you on to the fourth question. And the fourth question is, how much value do you add by solving the problem? You always need to be adding exponential value. So you can add more value by solving the problem than the cost of actually solving the problem. Now, if you're looking at this, how do you finance them? Well, you use bridging finance. And people that know me know that I've been teaching the intelligent use of bridging finance at my Ninja Investor Program courses since 2013. Bridgers aren't really bothered about the standard of the property, certainly not in the way that mortgage lenders are. Mortgage lenders are very pedantic. They want it ready to rent day one, and there's a whole host of things that will stop a property being mortgageable. Bridgers aren't really concerned about that. All they're concerned about is three things really. What's the problem? How are you going to solve it? How are you going to pay us back? Give them credible and robust answers to those questions, they'll give you a bridging loan. If you can be buying a property that's got a problem, you should be able to buy it cheaper. The thing about cash buyers is, if you're competing in this cash buyer world, well, it's not just property, is it? Cash buyers never want to pay top dollar, do they? They've always got an angle on hammering down the price. You should be able to buy these, significantly cheaper than a property in decent condition. It's all about doing your numbers right. So bridgers will lend, so you can buy this cash buyer only property on bridging. You can then fix it up and then either sell it or refinance at a profit to pay the bridging loan back. So there we are. Next time you see a cash buyer only property, don't automatically think, oh, I haven't got that much cash, I'll just walk away, because there could be a really decent profit in that unmortgageable cash buyer only property. So there we are. That's it for this week. I hope you found this tip useful. If you have, tell other people, other investors that you think might also benefit about it, and feel free to share this video wherever you think it might find a good home. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment, happy to answer your comments, and tune in to next week's video. Thanks for watching. See you soon.